All right, so here we go. So today is Saturday. It actually has taken me a couple days to put out this video. The reason why is because I needed to get right in my head what I did. On Thursday, I entered a trade with about $5,000, worth about $5,000 worth of my asset, and it just tanked on me. I lost it all of it gone. I needed to accept what I did wrong. I needed to figure out how I could fix it because losses are inevitable. But there's something that I did that completely screwed this all up. So I needed to identify what that was. I needed to get it right in my head before I could move forward. And now this is my process that I'm going to share with you as far as moving forward. What is it that I am going to do? How am I going to recover from this? What the hell am I actually going to do here? So as you can see, we started, this is my last, I've been kind of going back and forth, and I just got back over my leverage line, and then on Thursday, Friday, it just tanked, $4,300. Oh, man, that hurt. So we're going to go over to my trading calendar real quick, and I'll tell you what I did do is I instantly got back in a trade, this trade was on Thursday. Next trading day was on Friday. But on Friday, I did make myself get into a trade because you can't psychologically just screw yourself over. You have to get back on. Just don't make it a revenge trade. Yes, I lost the $4,997 on Tesla, but I also made $763. Okay, so that was just my positive. Here we go, but I still needed to extract that loss and work through it. So what exactly happened? Well, I did what I freaking did earlier on, and now I just have to adjust. I have to not adjust. No, I have to adjust. I have to adjust what it is that I'm doing and how I'm entering my trades and not overreacting. Okay. Thursday, on Friday or on Wednesday, we had the Tesla event, right? And the next morning, it gunned. All right. I listened to a whole lot of people, unfortunately, and I just subliminally, I had this number in my head that everybody was talking about. It's like, oh, this is gonna blast past the 192 level, this and that, blah blah blah. And, I had it in my head. And I don't know why I had it in my head, except for the influence of others. And I really do my best not to trade with the influence of others. So anyhow, this is how the day started. I did not initially enter here on this red bar. The red bar, that's like, okay, perhaps we're going down. I waited. We got a green bar back, and then a large green bar. So the large green bar to me, it would be my entry, okay, because it's a green bar, it has defeated red, and I entered here. I put in an initial 2 contracts right here for the 192, and as you can tell, it failed, it came down. Now my stop loss is right underneath this this large candle here. That's where I put my stop loss, but it turned green, so I was like, okay. We reached up in this area, and then this green candle right here, or this red candle right here, actually wicked above the other candle. So I was like, okay, I'm adding here. I'm going to add in a couple here. That was my mistake. And it dropped back off and started to climb back up. And right here on this color change, okay, so we got a green, red, and then a green. All right, and we just started to pump. I was like, okay, I'm putting in another 10 contracts right here. Mistake number 3. 10 more contracts right here. And we got above the 189. It wicked the 191. I was like, okay, we're in. It did a little pullback. I was like, oh, no problem. And then dump. Okay, when it dumped right here, I should have been out right at the bottom of this red candle. Okay, when that thing closed on this green right here, I should have been out. But I didn't. I was like, it's just a little pullback. I'm going to be fine. And it dumped, and it dumped, and it dumped. And I'm watching it dump, and I'm like, okay. Okay. And then I did something stupider. Yes, I'm saying stupider. I did an ignorant move. I went, okay, we're down here. I'm sorry, I was actually at 17 contracts up here. I was at 17 contracts up at the top here. Came down and I was like, okay, okay, we'll just make this one. This will be our out right here. Um, uh, uh, I'm sorry, at the beginning of the day, we'll just make that at the out. As long as it stays, above, it could potentially bounce back up. Okay. Number 4 was coming up with reasons to be wrong and be okay with it. Screw that. You're wrong. You're wrong. Get the fuck out. I didn't do that. I did not do that. I kept making excuses as to why I'm not going to exit the trade. It's a market. You can't reason with the market. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Get the fuck out. Get the fuck out when you're wrong. And I didn't do that. All right, it came right here. I entered 3 more contracts for a total of 20. Sorry, like I said, I had 17 up here. I entered 3 more down here because I was like, okay, cost average. It'll go back up, and even if it only gets back up 50% of the way, I'll get out and I'll be fine. It'll be an even trade. Sucks, but whatever. And it didn't freaking do that. It dumped again, and then again, and then it got into this fucking trading zone here, and I was stuck. I was stuck in it. Mistake number 6 would have been not exiting the trade when it fell below here. Okay. All right. Now we could sum this all up to when you're wrong, get the fuck out. All right. That's what we can sum it up to. Every mistake that I made was trying to justify why I was right. I wasn't right. I wasn't right at all. The moment that I began to be wrong was right frickin' here. This candle, when this candle came down and broke that, and I was in so heavy, that's the moment I should have jumped out. All right. The next one, that's when I should have freaking jumped out. But what I was looking at was the historical, yeah, they're just jumping back down and they're coming back and they're jumping back down and they're coming back. And I was just expecting this to jump back down and then come back, just like it was fucking doing. But no, this time it failed out. So I was wrong. I played it wrong. I did it wrong. Looking back, the only time I should have entered was up here, was on the reversal. That is the only time I should have entered. Now, I'll tell you why that is the case. Case number 1 for me. We had a red candle at the open, okay? We opened up here at 189, and it closed at 186.50. Tall tale number 1. Off the open, we failed. Okay, all right. That should have been my first sign, not to do it. Now, I also don't enter on first candles because I want to see what the market's going to do. The exception is if this thing's going to, but that's irrelevant to what I did. All right, so that's mistake number 1. We had a big red candle and it only slowly came back up, okay? And then we had another big red candle and it slowly came back up. Okay, so the momentum was to the downside, but there were buyers that were pushing it up, but the momentum was down. The other one, we have a huge psychological level up here at 190. Okay, huge psychological level at 190, which was also a big resistance level. Okay, it popped through that, granted, okay, but then it wicked 191. It wicked it and then turned around. Now, had I had my mind on straight and not listened to other people, or not allow my subconscious to listen to other people while I'm trading, I wouldn't have entered. I wouldn't have done these entries here. But because of that, I screwed up. I made the mistakes. It's on me. Everything is my fault. Everything that I did is my fault. And I got to own that shit. Now, the simple truth is that I am a trader that actually enjoys when When the stock market is going down, that is usually when I profit. I'm able to play those very well. I don't play calls very well. Um, I'm not saying I don't trade them because my biggest losses are coming from calls. Those are my biggest losses. So if that is your weakness, you got to get rid of it. If my strength is playing to the downside, if that is my strength, then I need to work on that and increase my success with the downside. If I'm able to get those out and everything, cool. Um, because that's what happened with Tesla on Friday. Is I was playing the positive, or I played to the downside. I got my levels right, boom, and I got paid. So it's like, okay, I know what my strengths are. My weakness is calls. Uh, for rebuilding my account, I'm going to be very forceful with my trades, as far as how I trade them. As you've seen in my other videos, there's ways that I trade my setups. And on Friday, it worked flawlessly with Tesla as far as how I trade my setup, and it worked exactly how I expected to. And to the downside is how I do it. That's honestly my strength. So I'm going to continue to play that way. Calls, I'm really going to have to limit myself with calls. Right now, I have 2K in the trading account, and I have made a promise to myself that there is no more investing going into it. I am not putting any money into this account. 2,000 is what I have, and we are going to rebuild it. Now, that doesn't bother me because, even though it's only $2,000, I can turn that around. I'm not stressed about it. It does limit me on the trades that I can make, or it limits the fact that I have to remain very small with them. But after a tremendous loss like this and getting over that psychological hump that you have for yourself, it's important to me that I get multiple wins in a row, even if they're small wins. I need to get those going. I need my self confidence back. I need to get this out of my head. So, my action plan for moving forward is simply playing my setups, continuing to not listen to anything after market open. I like having some background noise, and there's Trader TV Live is one that I like to have open. But I do notice on days that I have them open, I'm very distracted with what I'm doing. It's nobody's fault but mine. I'm the one that pushes buttons. I'm the one that makes the calls. I'm the one that does that. So it's on me, but I don't need that type of influence in my ear while I'm trading. I need to be in my zone. So that is what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be trading my setups. The first things in the morning, I have my setups that I like to go with. If I have nothing, then I got to walk away. If there is no play for me off of what I normally look for, I got to walk away. Because if I already know for a fact that I am less likely to make money with calls, then, I got to be really careful about getting into those. Now, I realize I just said I'm not going to get into them. I, of course, want to be able to make money going when the market's going up or when the market's going down. I just really need to watch this stupid stuff that I've been doing. That's a better way for me to put it. That, I'm at a major resistance. We opened up at a major resistance. I did that a week ago on Tesla. We open up at a major resistance. I get into calls. It begins to get to the major resistance and then just sells off. These right here, I need to stay away from. I think that's the better way to put it. I need to stay away from anything that opens close to a resistance. I will not get in. If I am into something that's at close to a heavy resistance that has not been touched in a long time. I mean, look at this. Look how long it's been since Tesla has even been in this area. Actually, I think we got to go back months, to actually get back to it. But I mean, it's been forever. So it's like, okay, I screwed up. But anyway, so On those trades, that's what I've been doing. That's how I've been messing up is, I get in and on these calls that are so close to a major resistance and it just sells off. Now the positive one on Friday was this right here. Okay, this does my traditional setup. Okay, love it. I will not trade in this area. All right, when the market opens, I will not trade in this. As soon as it failed right here, that's where I entered. Boom, I was out down here. $800. Well, $738. So I know what the fuck I'm doing. I just screwed up with this because of the major resistance zone. But, Joe, you have a major support right there. Yes, but it's a psychological support, number one. There was heavy momentum coming into it. And it's not like this was unheard of. This right here was just barely a gap fill. I mean, we had this huge gap. Still had more momentum to the downside. I mean, if we get more into this right here, this was the gap down here, So it wicked the close on Wednesday. It wicked like that close right here. Boom. But that's also where I got out at. I just took the profit, walked away. Now, of course, as you see later on, it fell again, but, build up my confidence. But these are the trades that I am good at. This is what I'm good at. This I am not good at, and I need to recognize it. So that's it. That's where I am at. This is my dissecting. What the fuck did I do wrong? And me kind of talking to myself. I hope it makes sense to you. It makes sense to me. My rules are updated. I stay away from anything that is major gapped, that has support within, a couple dollars, especially on the Mag 7. If it's within a couple dollars, we get out. We don't even mess with it. Look for the fail. This is typical of fails, especially the first time going through on the higher highs. So, once again, that's it. I needed to get through this. I needed to share this. I needed to get it out of my head. And now we just move forward. Thank you.